Okay, so it is that time of the year again, fall. I've had this recipe in my to-do list for like 6 months now, and that is going to be pecan mochi pie. And I saw this recipe on it was like Bon Appetit or something, who probably took it from somewhere else. I like that there's like a combination, a little bit of like an Asian twist with the pecan pie. So I'm gonna do that, but obviously I'm not going to do it with the original recipe. You'll see how I kind of, I want to be able to eat it. So I want to health it up a little bit. At the same time, I know that it is supposed to be, you know, pie. It is supposed to be a little bit indulgent. So I'm gonna try to keep the essence of the pie. Like I'll keep some of the ingredients, but yeah, we're gonna make a healthy, or maybe like a healthier, pecan mochi pie today. So I hope you all enjoy. Okay, so first up we're gonna chop up a little bit of the pecans first. Add maple syrup and some miso. Just kind of mix that together. We're just going to toast that for a couple of minutes in the oven. That smells so good. So this is the coconut that I opened up. I just scraped out all of the insides and I froze the rest. So that I could use half sugar, half dates. Okay, so we can go halvesies. It's not all or nothing. Okay, so to make the coconut milk, also the dates and sugar, so that way we can blend everything together. Some glutinous rice flour. The recipe calls for some extra salt, but I just think there's enough of it in the pecans already, so probably gonna be thicker than we think. Teaspoon. flavored too. And that'd be a lot. Oops. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be for a 9-inch pan, but I never get to use these ones and they're so pretty. So, and who knows, it's probably not going to release from this one, but oh well. Let's see. Pour. Do it like this so that so let us give this guy a try. The good thing is I actually made these pies for other people. This has already highly been finished, and so what's nice about making 2 pies is I could probably freeze this and then save it for when it gets, you know, closer to the holidays, or if I want to not eat 2 pies all at once. It did stick to the pan a lot. Actually, if you can get the first piece out, make sure to cut it with a wet knife. Just wet everything, and then because it is mochi-esque, like everything's very stretchy, it's soft, you kind of have to, you know, I think it would have been a little bit easier if I had a press out pan, but still, in terms of like cutting it, it is still a soft piece of thing. So I've actually already had a little bit of it, so I'm not going to lie, but the smell is out of this world. Actually, the smell before, even with just the miso and the maple syrup and the pecans, already smelled amazingly of pecan pie. The first thing to note is I know that the Bon Appetit recipe probably had you toast up the nuts a little bit early just so that it would caramelize just a little bit, but I think that maybe my oven was a little bit too hot, so eventually I think some bits of these did burn the nuts. If possible, and I don't know if it is, but like I don't necessarily think that you even need to toast it prior. Maybe toast it for like 1 or 2 minutes just so that the sugars kind of, you know, cling and stick to the nuts, but definitely don't over toast it at the beginning. Otherwise it's gonna burn when you cook it, you know, again for 30-40 minutes in the oven. It smells like pecan pie, but it's like a little bit salty because of the miso, so it's like savory, sweet, nutty pecan pie. It's great. Okay, so I should try. So you can see, okay. So it's like mochi, okay? I'm gonna try a bite. It's actually less sweet the second. It's very good depending on what you like. So the top is just like a, you know, like salted caramel. So it's like salted pecan crust that's crunchy, sweet, a little bit salty from the miso. And then the bottom bit is very coconutty. That coconut really comes through. And it's rich, but it has the same texture as mochi. So it's like soft, it's stretchy, it can be quite filling as well. The one thing when I initially tasted it was I thought that this recipe had way too much sugar in it. Like, it was very sweet. It was, like, for me, I think I just want my mochi to be slightly sweet. And so even if I don't know if I would go completely just dates and then no sugar, because sometimes when you add too much fiber to something, it changes up the recipe a lot. Like, the texture is no longer the same. But I think one thing I would do is, even if I did keep the half-half ratio of sugar and dates, is just to have less. I would even say like half. For me, I would definitely try it half as much. I think for people, maybe you could try 3/4 the amount of sugar first and then divide that up between the dates. I still think it would be quite sweet. Like, I just don't think that you need the mochi to be that sweet. It should just be slightly sweet. What else? I would love to take this obviously to the next level of whole food plant-based. We have made like the brown glutinous rice flour before together on a video before. And so I think I would try that because in stores there is such thing as brown rice mochi, and they taste fine. Like, texturally it doesn't really taste, like, I don't think that different from just normal white flour or a white rice flour mochi. Okay, so I would do that. And then yeah, like I don't know how the sugar would go, but for me, like, I just like to try it anyways. Just take it to that like ultimate level, see how a cake tastes with, you know, nothing refined in it, and then, you know, try out the texture, try out the taste, see if I like it. And then once you go, you know, all the way up, then you can say like, okay, well, maybe it was a little bit rough, maybe I will, you know, do half sugar, half, you know, dates or whatever like that. But sometimes cakes can surprise you because it's like, wow, I didn't even think that it doesn't even taste that different compared to if you had used like refined sugar or refined flours or something like that. And I think this one really surprised me because I did, you know, cut half the amount of sugar with dates. And then instead of using coconut milk from a can where all of the coconut is strained out, like the coconut fibers are strained out, this has the whole coconut in it. So it doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste super fibrous-y, you know, because otherwise, like, there's a lot of times when normal people don't like the whole food plant-based stuff because there's just too much fiber, there's too much texture, and all they want is, you know, something soft and creamy and, you know, whatever. But this was really good. Like, I tried the mochi bit and I could not tell that there was dates in it, that there was, you know, whole dates in it, that there was whole coconut in it. So it's just really, you know, it's quite nice. The other thing is, like, coconut is quite rich. Like, whether you put the whole coconut in, you know, with all of the fiber or not, it's quite a fatty thing. And so that was the reason that I opted to not put butter in, because, like, why would you need to? That's a whole coconut. But for me, this already I think some people like it rich. Obviously for the holidays, like, keep it as rich as you want. But for me, I actually think that, again, it's not all or nothing. We can do half of the coconut and then maybe put like half soy milk or half like almond milk in it. Something that's just less rich. Because for me, like, coconut is so rich that like it always tastes a little bit oily to me. And so, you know, especially for people that have, you know, like heart issues, feel free to completely take out the coconut and just add something like a soy milk or maybe like an almond milk with the almond pulp in it. Like, go do that. Like, that's not a problem at all, because you know, it's usually about like 10% of whatever the nut is to the liquid, so it's not going to affect this cake in the slightest. I think if anything, it just makes it less, like, it's just so rich now, because I'm used to making mochi with just water, and I think that tastes already super delicious. So I think yeah, if there were three things that I would change is I would, one, switch out the white glutinous rice flour for brown glutinous rice flour. I would do completely dates and grind it up into date sugar. And then the third thing is I would probably use like soy milk instead of coconut milk. But then again, like you could also go half soy milk, half coconut milk. That would be totally fine. So I omitted the salt content in the mochi part of the recipe because I just thought, oh well, the top already has all of that miso in it. It's just not gonna really matter. And I agree, actually. Like I think that the top was enough. It was nice that to have the top be slightly salty and then to have the bottom be just, you know, kind of sweet. But then again, so I'm somebody that kind of likes savory, sweet desserts. So true, I wouldn't have minded if I had put a little bit of miso on the base mochi part, but at the same time, the top was already so salty. So some people might like that you have that top bit be salty and then have the bottom bit just be like, you know, like kind of sweet, lightly sweet. So yeah, there's that. The smell is just fabulous. Like, you're going to be so hungry for, you know, like for the holidays. Yeah, and I guess like, you know, make it in a non-stick. It might be easier to take out, but yeah, you know, make two. Make one for now and then freeze it and then I guess like steam it and bake it, because if you bake it twice it might get too dry. So yes, that's, you know, y'all asked for it. We are trying it. That is it for today. So yeah. Hopefully you all enjoy. Ciao, ciao. Make the cake. Okay, all right, bye. Bye, 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 bye.